YouTube! My name is Nye from Finale Guitar in Sheffield, and you join me in my house, in my YouTube corner. Today I'm going to be following up on the little video I made last week, which was about a simple way to finger pick along with jigs for your Irish, Scottish and Welsh traditional backing guitarists out there. In this video I'm going to show you a more funky version of the same thing. So it's going to sound, when you've learnt it all, something like this. Something like that. So basically we're going to base the pattern that we're going to learn on the same pattern of chords that we used last week, which was a pattern which you can practice along with my Out on the Ocean tune loop video, which is linked in the corner of the screen right now. It's played very, very slowly, and you can just play along with it. It loops for a whole video. It plays the tune through lots and lots of times, so you can practice with that. So the basic chord progression is G, G, C, D. G, G, C, D. So that's a very, very simple chord progression based around chords 1, 4 and 5 in the key of G major or G Ionian, and that's a chord progression that you'll come across all the time to fit with Celtic tunes. Very, very common. What we're going to do to make that progression more interesting is, instead of playing two Gs at the beginning, we're going to play a G first, and then we're going to play a chord called G over B or G/B. So what that means is it's still a G chord. You can see here I'm playing a G. That's the full country G, by the way, that I'm doing there with all of my 4 fingers held down. So I've got, as well as the little finger on the top string 3rd fret, I've got my ring finger on the B string 3rd fret. And what I'm doing is just changing it so that the lowest note in the chord is now the B at the bottom there, instead of the G. And that's why it's called G over B, because it's a G chord, but the lowest note that's playing in it is the B note. So that's like that. You could also call that G in the first inversion. And if you're interested in learning more about chord construction and all that good stuff, you can find a little link to a blog that I wrote in the box down below that explains all that. You can also find that in the corner of the screen, or contact me for a lesson if you want to learn more about those kinds of things. Anyway, so our chord progression is now going to be G, then G/B, then what I call country C, which I covered in the last video, but basically it's the same as your country G, except you move the index and middle fingers both up a string, and then country D or Oasis D, whichever you want to call it, where you keep these 2 fingers on at the top where they were, and you just move that finger there. So what you're actually playing is a D sus4 chord, like that. Or you can play a D chord, really doesn't matter. I quite like the continuity between just keeping those 2 notes on between all of the chords, so it's quite a nice little touch to keep notes in common between chords. But normal D is fine if you prefer. Now for the picking pattern, what you're going to do is you're always going to start off with your thumb on the root note of whatever chord you're playing, and you're going to take your other 4 fingers, and I'm going to number them 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you're going to line them up with the top 4 strings of the guitar. And by that I mean the top 4 in pitch, not the top 4 vertically, topographically. So your little finger sits on the top E string, your ring finger or 3rd finger goes on the B string, middle finger or 2nd finger goes on the G string, and your index finger or 1st finger goes on the D string. What you're going to do now is pluck the thumb on the root note of the G chord, which is the G down the bottom, and you're going to try and keep those fingers lined up ready to pluck when you do that. So, and now you pluck them like that. And as soon as you've plucked them, you do a little palm mute that goes chuck. When you do the palm mute, you want to have your hand slightly curled round in a bit of a claw hammer style, like that. That way, when your fingers hit the strings, the nails are going to hit the strings, making a nice kind of thwack noise. The fleshy bit of your palm is going to hit the lower strings, which is going to mute those, and the fingers that have hit the strings are going to be on the right strings already, so that when you want to do a pluck afterwards, they're already tucked under the right string, ready to go. So that gives you... So you can see there my finger is already hooked under its string on the mute, and it's now ready to twang for the next quaver. So once you've got the hang of that basic bit at the beginning, the next step is for the 5th quaver, straight after the palm mute, you're going to pull up your index finger so it does a little mini twang of its own. So you've got thumb on 1, nothing on 2, pluck on 3, thwack on 4, and then index on 5, and 6 is still empty at the moment. So that's going to give you something that sounds like... It kind of feels now like it needs something on the 6. So what we're going to put on the 6 is your thumb is going to move up to the A string, next string up, and that is going to be the point where you're going to do this little hammer-on manoeuvre. So on quaver 6 you're going to play the A string, and then on the first quaver of the next bar you're going to hammer that index finger on, and that's going to be the first note of your G/B chord. So that's going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 was the index finger and 6 is the thumb on the A string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now for the next bar, you don't do a thumb because you've just done it a quaver too early. Instead what you do is you hammer on that finger and then you do the rest of the pattern the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on the 5 and the 6 there, the 5 was the index finger the same as before, and the 6 is now the thumb on the A string where it's moved to. So altogether, the first 2 bars of the pattern are going to sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll do that again, just in case you didn't catch it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. Next little thing is going to be another hammer on. So we've just twanged on the 6th quaver of the 2nd bar with our thumb on the A string. And so we're going to, from that note there, the B, we're going to hammer on the middle finger, taking us into our country C chord. Like that. And then the index finger moves over to make the full chord shape. So, like that. So that's going to do our 3rd bar. So if I put those 3 bars together, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And for the final bar of the pattern, which is the D bar, D's root note is an open string, so you can't really hammer into that one unless you do a different D shape, like maybe D7 like that or something like that. So we're not going to have a hammer on for this one. Instead what we're going to do is just do 2 thumb plucks so that it goes... You'll notice for that D bar, because my thumb has moved up to the D string, I've moved all my other plucking fingers up one as well to make room. So for that one, it goes from the thumb on the D string, pluck the top 3 strings, and then index on the G string, back to the thumb, like that. So if I just play the whole loop back once more, you should hopefully be able to pick it up and kind of play along with it. Do bear in mind if you find it too fast initially, have a look in the bottom right hand corner. YouTube has a feature where you can play it back at 0.75 times its original speed. So try that if you're finding it too fast. It does sound a bit grainy, but it can be quite helpful. So here we go. Pattern sounds something like this. 1, 2, 3, and... So yeah, that is my trademark funky hammer-on jig plucking pattern. I hope you've enjoyed learning that one. You can of course apply it to any other set of chords as well. You sometimes have to get a bit artistic with the hammer-ons, and sometimes there are chords where you can't do the hammer-ons, but there are lots of ways that you can apply that basic pattern. It works very nicely in keys like A, where you've got open root notes available to you. So things like that. It also works very well in C, of course, where you can hammer on. Those kinds of things. So mess about with it. There's loads of great things you can do with it. Yeah, let me know how you get on. I will also be releasing a brand new play along this week. That'll be out on Saturday mid-afternoon sometime. And you can tune in as ever for Folky Fridays. This week the topic has yet to be decided, so if you've got any great ideas of things you would like me to cover in a free Irish guitar lesson, then let me know in the comments box down below. If you could also hit the thumbs up button, that really helps me out, because the YouTube algorithm, like seeing little thumbs up, makes the world a brighter place, and it shows my videos to more people if it has more thumbs up on it. So go and hit the little thumbs up right now. Hit the subscribe button, you will get my free tutorials to your inbox every week. I've got some very exciting things coming up, including some more looks at the styles of famous guitarists. Slip jigs also coming up very soon, and lots more great stuff. If you want to learn more about the music theory involved in Celtic music, then I suggest you check out my book, Backing Guitar Techniques for Traditional Celtic Music. You can also get hold of the amazing mode wheel at finaleguitar.co.uk/shop, which will help you understand all the chords and how they fit with different tunes. You can find loads of great free information about music theory and guitar playing and useful stuff like that, along with arrangements of Irish and Scottish tunes and jazz and classical stuff that I've written as well. It's all available on finaleguitar.co.uk. Go and check it out, it's linked in the card in the corner of the screen. So yeah, that's about it for me for this week, and I will be back next Thursday at 8:30 with another free lesson. Tune in for Folky Fridays tomorrow evening, 5:30, and every week thereafter, and I will see you all soon.